So now the question is, once we get our JWT, how do we provide it on an authorization header? Well, Graphical doesn't have built-in support for passing values onto HTTP headers, so we need to use a different client. We're going to use a tool called Insomnia, and you can download it at insomnia.rest. It's going to provide for us a REST client as well as a GraphQL client. If you're familiar with Postman, it's somewhat like sending requests with Postman, but again, it gives us the ability to send requests in the GraphQL syntax as well. Insomnia comes in the form of an application, so you'll need to head to insomnia.rest, download it for your computer, and then we'll be able to use it. So I've already got Insomnia installed and opened up, and what we want to do here, if we see this main screen, is we want to create a new request. So we'll click this new request button, and we don't need to worry about giving it a name. We'll just hit create. And from here, in this dropdown, where by default we're given a GET request, we want to select custom method. Actually, we need to select body and then select GraphQL query. Whenever we make a GraphQL query, whether it's a query or a mutation, it's going to be a post request. But as is, we're going to get an error saying that we're missing the URL. To be able to connect with our GraphQL server, we need to provide the endpoint to it. And again, that's HTTP localhost 8000/GraphQL. And remember the ending, the trailing /. Let's try executing a basic query, one that we're familiar with, like the tracks query. And let's try to query for all of the tracks IDs. We should see that resolve successfully, indicating that we have the correct URL. And if you're also getting an error here, namely a cross origin, a CORS error, it's because you need to provide in your urls.py file of app, you need to provide this CSRF exempt import. So first, let's head to Graphical and grab our JSON web token. We can copy this, and we'll try writing our me query. At the moment, we're still getting our not logged in error. We can provide our authorization header by clicking on the header tab. And in addition to this content type application/JSON header, we'll add an authorization header. And for the value, we need to prepend JWT for this to work. And then we can paste in our token. Make sure to remove the double quotes here. So now if we execute our me query, and we can provide the username, email, and password, when we hit send, we should no longer get our error. Instead, we should have the user that we ran the token auth mutation with.